What's up, guys? This podcast is sponsored by Yak Attack, and that's yakattack.us. And what Yak Attack is the leader in the kayak fishing industry who specializes in kayak fishing rigging solutions. As kayak anglers themselves, they are tightly integrated into the sport of kayak fishing and are acutely aware of what the sport needs. It all starts with the gear track and or the mighty mount. And the gear track comes in all different sizes and colors, and the screwball that attaches to the gear track is what everything attaches to. And a variety of rod holders, camera mounts for still cameras and GoPros, light poles with the day flags that folds into the flags, fish finder mounts, and the black pack crate system. All of Yak Attack's products are made in the USA. Years ago, Yak Attack set the gold standard with kayak visibility with the Visi Carbon Pro. Fast forward to today, and it remains the most dependable light flag combo in the industry. The 48-inch deployed height gets the flag and the light up where it can be seen, and the 14-inch collapsed length lets you stow it away easily when it's not in use. The high visibility flag doubles as a pouch, making it easy to unpack and store. The expectant lamp life of 10,000 plus hours of the ultra bright high efficiency LEDs, and at least 100 hours with the 3 AA batteries that are included. The carbon fiber mass is strong and lightweight, and the narrow profile allows for low wind drag. The soft flume keeps it afloat, and it fits in most rod holders. Available in an array of mounting options that fits into most boats and most popular mounts. Don't compromise on safety. Depend on what tens of thousands of other paddlers trust. There's only one, the Visi Carbon Pro from Yak Attack, yakattack.us. The podcast is also sponsored by my DVDs at kayakkevin.com, the Kayak Fishing the Chesapeake Bay DVD series, and the Bay Tour DVD. The fishing DVDs are broken up into a trilogy. Number 1 is an intro into the fishery, has a full year's worth of footage from most of the larger fish targeted here in the lower Chesapeake Bay. The instructional sequels are broken up into 2 parts, the warm water and the cold water species. Number 2 is the warm water species, with detailed instruction on rigs and the fishery itself, spanning from the red drum at the shoals, flounder, the summertime and the summer structure species, and sight casting for red drum and striper. Number 3 is the cold water species, with detailed instruction on the winter targets, tautog and the eastern shore striper fishery. The Chesapeake Bay Tour DVD is a 6-week, 600-mile tour I did in 2010 around the Chesapeake Bay, filmed in kind of a Survivor Man style, showing everything I do and look for when I am on a long-distance tour. All of these DVDs are available at kayakkevin.com. Alright, it's podcast number 42. It's January 28, 2015.
This is the second one this year?
Yeah, we've
made some attempts, and it's
been tight. It's been what we try to do is move it to my house to do, so I can have an option of doing Skype there when just trying to make it a little bit easier. And so that kind of fell through. And also my cable at my house is not that good, and I actually just had a guy look at it from Cox, and he said, yeah, there's not.
I had some new connections put in this past weekend by the Cox people.
Yeah, so I might have to do that and all that stuff, and then yeah, so it's been a pain in the ass this month, but we're trying to get it rolling again, and thanks to Joshua Schwab who hooked us up with the computer so we can do the Skype thing, and we're going to do your video, and this is Damien. This is Damien Hall.
You hear him on the radio.
Yeah.
The tuna tournament. He does that commercial
most of the time.
Yeah, well, Damien is one of our fishing partners, and he hasn't been on the show at all. This is our second year starting it. And Lee, we got Lee, and we're at Lee's house.
Studio 2, right?
This is number 1. This is number 1. We're gonna call this one number 1. This is good because this is the main studio. We got the fucking big screen TV here now.
Moving on up.
Yeah, we're gonna try to see what we can get going on with the guests, and
yeah. Well, we're gonna do Skype here.
We're held down by Cox Cable right now.
Right now, yeah, because of the internet connection. So we're gonna try to figure all that stuff out. We are figuring it out, so it's coming along pretty good.
Every day we're working on something.
Yeah. So we're trying to get back and rolling again, and yeah, so this is the second one this month. And
we're gonna have to make you like an elevated platform with a yoga mat on it, so you can just kind of get into your little stretch position while you're doing a podcast.
Well, this is now I'm not used to this thing here now, so now you saw me just trying to get.
Yeah, I've watched my leg. It's like
Yeah,
moving things around, trying to
keep moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's too close.
I know. It's like, okay, now it already has to move out.
Almost moving out.
Almost turns into
No.
a drinking game. It's awesome.
No, well, that's the thing is, as soon as I hear somebody's doing a drinking game on the for the podcast, that means we made it.
Yeah.
That means I feel like we hit a level at that point if there's actually
Right.
a drinking game going on.
Well,
Right.
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, like whatever it's going to be, it's it hasn't happened yet, but I'm kind of looking forward to that. Now, okay, introduction to Damien. If you don't know who Damien is, if you're just kind of following my website and all of our crap, Damien, he's one of our fishing partners. If you look at any of the DVDs and even the old videos, I mean, you'll see him. He's one of our fishing partners, and the issue is most of the time now is scheduling. It's like you haven't been able to fish with us that much because of scheduling. You work at you work at the radio. You work at local Sinclair Studios, and that's WNIS, WTAR, 96X, all the FM rock stations.
US 106. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
It's busy.
It's busy.
Yeah.
And you're doing a lot of production work. You do a lot of on-air work. If you listen to any of the expert shows, you're on there, trying to make that really interesting.
WNIS or Catching with Captain Reese.
Well, Catching with Captain Reese, and that's how I met you, and that's how you got with us was when I was on Reese's show a lot.
What a mistake.
Yeah, years ago. Yeah.
What a mistake.
And back in the day, the problem was, and what got me sucked into fishing with you was we had to listen to the radio stations 5 at a time. There were no alarms that went off. So I was clustered with this noise at all times, and I was slowly going insane. So I was like, I want to get out there. It'll be calm and like relax. And there's nothing calm and relaxing about following Kevin around. But that was the beginning of the end of that. Then I had to upgrade out of a convenience store sort of kayak.
Well, that happens.
On up.
That happens with almost
Everyone.
everybody. Everybody comes into the Appomattox and has
Even the beginner kayak.
has the Pelican. Hardy has the Pelican.
Unless you bought it and it just sits on your dock outside in your backyard.
Sure.
You're gonna buy it and then you're gonna turn around and buy.
Yeah, that's what I told the guys. Yeah, I'm just kind of wanting to get a beginner one as well. If you like the sport, which some guys you can tell they're gonna dig it. They're outdoors guys, they're young, like they want to go, and you can tell they're gonna like it. I'm like, okay, you're gonna like this sport. You're gonna end up getting another boat anyway.
Yeah, if you don't, if you can't, look for something used.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of avenues,
Yeah.
but don't. I mean, I don't advise buying them.
Well, I remember we were at the ships, and I think I hooked up, and you tried to follow me out on a rough day. We were like hidden behind the ships. I hooked up with the striper, and I got pulled out, and you tried to follow me in that Pelican, and the waves are bad, and it was. You were like, oh, you had to get back.
Waves go right over the front and right into the boat. They fill up with water, so it's.
So that was a quick turnaround. So yeah, then you got.
This was a long time ago.
This was a long time ago. Yeah, very long time ago.
Start counting the years. But.
So
yeah, it all started with radio back at kind of my home, which I'm still working at. And now it's over here at Lee's home doing you guys' version of the radio podcast thing, and I get to watch it on my cell phone. So it's
what's funny is because I just did a show with you a couple weeks ago, and it was completely different. Different environment when you had the mic and the headphones, because I've been doing this for a year and I haven't done the show. And actually, the last time I was in the studio was with you the year before. Remember that picture I posted up?
Wow, yeah.
Remember the picture I posted up for that was exactly the same weekend, because it was the same weekend that Reese went.
All right, nice.
So that was the last time I was on with you. But yeah, having that studio environment was different from this environment. And then coming back here, I noticed that I was different here because I didn't have the mics and the headphones on, where you had to be controlled. We had to watch our mouth. And I did pretty good. I didn't cuss for 2 hours.
I've been on Reese's show twice or 3 times, and I haven't had to hit the button yet.
Yeah.
No reason.
He let me roll last time.
Yeah.
He let me go for pretty much a half hour straight.
Yeah.
I'm a lot better than I used to be.
I surprise myself. I'm on for almost an hour every day, and I surprise myself that I don't slip up as much as I do in regular life.
US 1061 had a slip up this morning.
I didn't hear it.
No, it wasn't anybody's fault except for Bobby Bones' show. Yeah. He kept his mic on when they supposed to go to commercial. Luckily, everybody else in the studio was off, and they have a no swear policy in the studio.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nothing had to be
Smart.
bleeped out, and you couldn't tell who he was talking about, but he did not want certain people on the show because he didn't like them as guests. But The only names he mentioned where he was like, he's like Dierks Bentley and another country singer. He was like, yeah, those guys are awesome. I love having guys like that on the show. Those are the only 2 names he said the whole probably 3.5 minutes. I'm sitting here and I'm just listening and waiting because I know it takes me a couple seconds to realize what's happened, and I'm like, oh,
on a rolling train wreck. Yeah.
Yep. He's getting. Oh no.
Hot mic.
Yeah, he's talking about people he doesn't want, and man, it could have been ugly.
It's cold when that happens. It could be the end of people's careers,
Yeah.
but with the podcast, it's it's a different thing. But it can be in some instances.
Yeah. Well, we're good.
Yeah, because there's chances are that guy was talking about like big name country stars.
Yeah.
Big name country morning show.
And plus, we're so. I bet I'm still actually, if this show grows and it actually gets big enough where we're starting to get shit taken out of context, I understand it. But right now we're kind of enjoying anybody listens to us is a fan actually kind of knows us,
right
from watching us.
It's easy to follow along.
Yeah.
With the story.
So yeah, we haven't gotten to that point where, and I've said some shit, and we've all said some shit that if you could take it way out of context,
sure.
If you just kind of snap through, just snap through the because that's how I listen to it. I just go through and make sure the tone is right through the whole thing, and the audio is right through the whole thing. I don't watch them, but if you could do that, you could take some shit way out of context.
That's the fun of it. And eventually, if enough people listen, somebody
I get some pretty funny pictures taken of me out of context.
Shit's hilarious.
That's easy.
Mustini just is awesome.
Rogan, right? So he's at any time when his live shows, he's got 1,000 people watching, right? He said something. Oh fuck! I wish I had. It was nothing that. And then somebody immediately tweeted, "Rogan said this," and it was a perfect example of how quickly and how it could be taken into context. He was a live show. He had to go back. You have to go back and listen to it, but
Well, even for the fact that if you did a 3-hour podcast where we're sitting in the kayaks, if it ever got to that point where we could live Skype a podcast from sitting at the Eastern Shore, just paddling all day, or doing any one of the fisheries, it would be the end of the whole thing. Like nobody would be allowed to do anything else ever again. But yeah, it's a lot different. It's a less restraints than radio or other mediums.
Yeah.
But sitting in the boat,
Well, actually, I save. I remember when actually the video I'm working on right now. When I was 4 days in the spring. The video I'm working on right now is one with Rogowski, and me and him caught one some in the late afternoon. I had a double one get off. So 4 days later, I'm staying up there 4 days later, and you come up that last day and we catch a striper, and after that, I'm talking about my week, and I saved all that.
Nice.
Because it's like this. I'm just I'm talking about it. I'm talking about that day. I'm talking about this day. It was
nice.
Yeah, but if you don't, if I don't remember,
we
that
literally have a video fishing log.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, sure, definitely.
Well,
yeah. But
so everything kind of grows with you, the podcast, and kayak fishing in general here. So
we're hoping so. We're hoping, especially bringing guests in from around with the Skype man.
Pretty
hopefully,
awesome.
If that works out well. Here we have one thing because we can go 2 routers, right?
Yeah.
At my house, hopefully we're gonna get that my whatever wires are right, and we'll be able to do that too. Because my house is going to be like sometimes I'm gonna have to do stuff early in the morning or midday when he's still at work or something like that. So I'm gonna have to do those by myself.
When we have to talk to Joel Abramson.
Yeah, who knows that?
Who knows what time like Norwegians are awake or whatever.
I'll be waking up at 7 in the morning, getting on the show at 7 in the morning just so we can get him recorded.
He's like, man, we're getting ready to go to bed. What?
But shit, I know Phil Spencer immediately wants to come on. He's the Ocean Kayak. He's pro staff Ocean Kayak, but he's like the head of the pro staffers Ocean Kayak.
Oh, is that the guy that commented today?
Yes. So I was like, yep.
As soon as we get the Skype show, or if he's ever in town for anything.
Yeah. Well, what's cool about it also is doing it on location. Like when I go to
And the first one we did, what was the first one we did was at
Appomattox.
The demo day. The demo day.
It was fun.
And that was really fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
The next time was really, really fun too when we did it at the tournament.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
We got a lot of action going on. We got some things going on. Lighting changes. We got the lighting man making some fine adjustments. We got our crew making fine adjustments.
Good job, Greg. But yeah, eventually I'd like to see the podcast done from the water. So, you know what I mean? That'd be good if people emailed in what the best location from it would be. But I think from the water it'd be possible. Especially sitting around at Kip to Peep.
Especially the spot I was talking about. The spot I was talking about earlier. That brick wall at the first island. This is where you would have to set up the camera at, and we just have to sit right there.
Or even
on a break.
Right.
Or even in one of the red creeks where we're all just sitting there, just one hand over fist, just releasing fish, just.
But the thing is
time of the world.
We couldn't do it live. We have to record it. I mean, it would basically just take the video from that day of our balcony.
The sound is not.
Yeah.
All
It gets too technical at that point.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And this is a little bit controlled, you know. Yeah. And so far we haven't had the need to do the mics yet and all that stuff. And hopefully, I think with the Skype, we have a backup phone for the Skype, but it's through Skype. So if Skype's fucking up, this phone's going to fuck up anyway. So, you know, might end up doing an actual phone line or something like that. Or separate.
Yeah, I got a couple options for you on that, too.
Yeah. But we'll have to do it all, like live audio, like speakers and stuff like this. Just basically
sure.
Yeah.
You can use a laptop and have the person's image here in the corner so everybody else can see.
Well, see, I can do that after.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen if it does go to phone. I'll just use the screen and throw the picture up here after.
Right on.
Because I have to edit stuff anyway. I have to do the ads. I do those live, so I recreate those and I put the pictures on top of those every time, and and beginning ending. I do a little bit of editing to it.
Gotcha.
So that wouldn't be no problem.
So all this is getting cut out.
No, this is all right. The only time, and what will get cut out is when we detail your video towards the end here, so before you got to go, because we're going to move this camera here, shoot it here, and that's going to be cut out. Cool. That type of thing. Yeah. That would be cut out. And if anybody drops out of Skype and we have a long pause where we're trying to get back on, that'll be cut out.
Yeah.
Because
we can start blasting music videos too, and Shane has the perfect one.
What's that? That's your...
The Mike Jones video. When we go to break.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think he put on his grills for the show too, so that's nice of him.
Got a lot of support.
Yeah.
Well, so if you've seen Damien's pictures and stuff, he manages to catch really big fish out of nowhere.
Yeah, they just come. They just.
Sometimes.
Dude, this is the most ridiculous thing in the world. The last time this happened to me is that day when I lost my anchor. First thing. This is the day I ended up getting Ralph. This is the craziest day ever. So, I get up in the morning. I'm driving, meet Damien, go to Ocean's East. Huh? And then meet up with Damien down at Sandbridge.
Fall Red Sandbridge.
Yeah. Fall Red Sandbridge.
Yeah, ocean run of the Reds in the fall, September-ish, off of Sandbridge and surf launches in this ocean. So
at some point I didn't latch my brand new Bending Branches all carbon paddle.
Oh yeah, that's when you lost that one. Yeah,
it was gone. Yeah. I had no paddle when I got to the beach. I'm pretty upset.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, I'm already there. I had my boat out, and you realize you missed it.
Yeah. It was a hurricane.
And I just backed up and just let him go ape shit for a little bit and just kind of...
Then I thought, I was like, oh man, there's a kayak rental shop up the street. I bet I can rent a paddle.
Yeah.
Anyway, on the way there, I get a phone call talking about, can you find somebody to take care of a dog or whatever. Anyway, that's how I ended up with a second dog that day.
Yeah.
But so that happened in the meantime. So I get the paddle. Get out there. Something happens with, as soon as we paddle out, we get like a little past the buoy, set up to drumfish. Something happens with my clip to my buoy, and my anchor's gone. I drag around and try and snag the rope. How do you not snag an anchor rope knowing exactly where you were in a circle with hooks on the bottom? I don't get it. Never got it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to paddle in place next to Damien.
And it's getting worse.
Shark.
And worse.
It's getting worse. Bad. Today is bad. Damien's rod just sings off. He catches a drum. Then he's like, oh man, I gotta go. He had to go to work. It was one of those days he had to go to work. So he's like, I gotta go to work. I took his anchor. Jay's coming out to meet me. So Jay comes out. We fish that spot. Catch nothing. We moved in a little bit. Set up. We sat there for like 30, 40 minutes. The sun was getting ready to go down. We're almost out of bait, so we reeled everything up. I reeled up my last bait and threw it over. I dumped all my bait. I pulled up my anchor. I'm paddling away. Jay's getting ready to dump his bait and reel his last rod up, and his shit just goes off. And he caught a drum right from me.
Yeah. Well, it's not only Damien catching, drum out in front of you. It's like the day where he catches like the biggest ones. Yeah. That's the thing is where like the one we had one really in the springtime. It was 3 years ago. 3 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago when he caught the giant striper and the drum in the same day.
Yeah, caught two citations in one day, and we hadn't. None of us had done that at that point. And with those species there, and it was real good. We had it dialed. I was there a couple days beforehand, so I had it dialed in, really dialed in. I knew exactly where they were. Boom, boom. So we were over here, stripers, boom, 46.
Yeah,
right. We're catching 43s.
Oh, we had them. That was the day. Is it that in the second?
Yes, it is. It is.
That's the day in the second DVD.
Exactly.
It's in the second DVD that day. Yeah. That was the day I saw them from across the water. I was like, that's them up in front of us from like a half mile away.
Yeah.
It was a long ways away. I was like, that's them.
Yeah. Yep. And so he catches that, and then we go and catch reds. We get into a school reds, and he catches 46 out of that. So, yeah, 2 citations one day. Yeah, striper fishing. In the last video, in the last DVD, you caught a good one.
Well, the first time we ever went out, and I actually caught a striper. I guess here's the thing: like I'll go and get skunked.
Yeah.
Like a dozen times, and I'll just paddle with you guys all day, and then I'll get a day where, like the first time I caught a striper, I ended up catching 4.
Yeah.
That night, and everybody else is just sitting there like, what the hell, man? And you were like bitching about it because you had to stay there, and you're like, I'm cold. I'm on home. He's catching them. I gotta stay.
I gotta stay and take pictures.
I'm soaking wet. It's like, all right.
And it's you come and you get skunked so many times. And you have like you're just paddling around. You're having a nature day while everybody else is catching. And then, but when you do hook up, it's fucking monsters. It's like double monsters. And then of course you've caught the biggest 55-inch, biggest red out of all of us out of our crew. So yeah. So yeah. I was thinking about saw somebody posting up a bucket list thing on Facebook, and I was like, my bucket list. I don't have like big grand bucket list. I just want to catch an over 60-inch red.
That'd be beautiful.
That's a big one.
I want to catch my fucking cobia. I want to catch my goddamn dumb fucking 50-pound cobia. That's the 2 that I broke off already. I want to catch that one. Goals. Yeah. We'll eventually get the 60, and you'll probably catch it first.
Honestly, I'm really ganged up because I put a couple trips in last season for cobia more than I did anything else, and then I kind of took off for a lot of the summer. But
my cobia boat should be in the mail here real soon.
We're both getting Ultras 4.3.
Well, I'll follow you guys around and catch them around you. So that'll have to happen.
Yeah, that's the thing about the sight casting thing. You be cutthroat out there with that shit. I know when I was when I went out there with all the guys, I was like, okay, all the guys were out, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna compete against one fish against 5 guys. I'm gonna go out by myself and try to. So organize that to who gets what.
Yeah. And normally when we fish together, that's the nice thing because everybody respects the area, and it's like a pack of wolves almost. When you see it, it's like, all right, nobody's making a move until everybody's set up like the the lionesses around the down gazelle.
And that's the thing about all of us that we work that well together, and that's how we got that shot of on the second DVD where all this we corralled all the stripers on top of each other and had that shot, and of course all of us
it's like sheep and cattle dogs, what I mean? Just kind of corral them up, and everybody got one.
Shit, the way me and Lee worked that one school where I caught that 51, and he finished that 46 in 2 minutes. That was a work because we hit him on the tail end, and we didn't mess with the school, and we backed off and let them reset while we reset, and instead of just charging in and blowing out the school and blowing them out of that water completely and possibly losing them. Yeah. So it's all like technique from the beginning, and that's what's cool about it is we all have that. We all
and it takes a little bit, you know what I mean? The friends of mine that I've brought out fishing don't really get that, and it's you got to bite your tongue, not get frustrated, but it's something. A little bit of patience can go a long way with everybody getting a fish, and that's what happened that striper day.
There's also that quick, being quick on being reactive. That's another thing is if somebody's coming out and they're not as doing it as long or at the level where they're quick.
You got to be Johnny on the spot. Move now, not 10 seconds. Think about it. Decide. All right, I'm going to slowly put my paddle down and move. No.
You have seconds.
Out of the way.
You have seconds to maneuver, and you're going to lose a fish or get a shot at a fish.
Yep. Yeah. And if you make a bunch of big stupid splashes, just keep paddling, or we'll just out paddle. just keep going.
What time you got to get out of here today? 4:30.
Yeah, we're cool.
Okay.
I'll keep an eye on
Okay. Yeah. I know you got to be at work at 5.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we go live at 6 o'clock.
Okay,
with,
you're good. You're good. You're good.
you know.
Okay, we're good. We're gonna get yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm ganged up for it, and there's always something new. I know, like you mentioned, the cobia thing. That's, it's not new, but it's new to your game. It's new to, I haven't landed one, but
I haven't landed a big one or a real one yet. I've caught
Yeah.
small ones. But the thing is, what I did last year was that new game. It's a new game for me because I did it without. Well, I did it without chumming because that's why I hated it.
There's a great story on the radio. If anybody listens to it on the website,
I got it on. Yeah, I got it on.
Yeah, that's a great story. Just the fact that after hooking up to it, it's now a vengeance thing.
Well, before that, it was the whole thing of going out without chum, without bait. I caught bait. I didn't buy any chum, and that's what I hated about that fishery. I hated targeting them because of how you had to target them.
Yeah.
That had the most success was the chumming ideas with the chum out and the cut baits or even live baits, and you had to buy eels. And I didn't want to buy anything. I just wanted to go and I developed my sight casting enough where I felt confident that I could see him and I could sight cast to him. So I just went out with nothing. I caught bait, and that was just that alone was enough to make
rewarding.
me do it.
It's got to be rewarding. You know what I mean? It's sufficient at that point.
Yeah. Well, that's the only
and you're
one
doing it the way you like to catch fish
and
in a more interactive way. I mean, you couldn't pay me to go over and go sit there for black drum with smelling like clams and sit on the eastern shore rocking in the kayak
and be nonstop catching roundhead or getting chewed up by nonstop roundhead and bait fish. And it's
I have no desire to do that.
Just having that
the black drum.
Yeah, just that fishery, and that's what we haven't been doing that because a lot of it is the style of fishing that we have to target these things. And now that we've gotten into, we have a boat now that we can have a live well. I had that Ultra, and now Lee's going to have Ultra. Now we have live wells, and we've got pumps. I mean, grab a pump right there is how we.
Yeah, I want one of these too.
Yeah. Well, you need an Ultra. Because this is that live well, and we pump water in and pump water out, and we don't use the aerator because the aerators are all noisy and stuff. But this is aquabound.
Nice.
Yeah.
That feels like quality too. It's not a cheap one that you.
It's awesome. I got a hose on mine so it doesn't splash around, but
I put a hose on it. It's like clear.
It pulls water out and pushes water in. It's really, really good. Yeah, it's really fast. Yeah. But that's like that.
Yeah, I've seen you use it before. It shoots it out 3 or 4 feet.
I got a hose on it, so it's not that splashing.
Not anymore.
Yeah, well, I was splashing my camera. Every time I was trying to pump water in, it was splashing the bow cam.
I bet.
So I have a brand, clean bow cam, and I go, as soon as I'm catching bait, I'm already messing it up. I haven't caught fish yet. But so just that idea, we can go and just paddle around.
Yeah,
I don't mind paddling around for one fish. I mean, for sight casting, I do it for reds.
Yeah. I'll get skunked a half dozen times to go for that one fish.
I've been cobia fishing so many times and caught no keepers yet. It's whatever.
Yep.
The closest I've even seen one being caught in a kayak was the one you had.
The small.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Rick caught a 40-pounder that day or something like that.
No. I was with you this fall.
Oh, right. That
40
incher.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, I had one by the boat. You were there for that, but that broke off in a minute and a half. But he was right by the boat. 20 seconds.
How big?
They come right up.
37 maybe.
Okay, same size as what I had.
Yeah.
Not real big.
Yeah, I was gonna put that fight up, but it's boring. Yeah. It's boring, especially as it towards when it's not on the surface anymore. It's just staying right at the boat, 6 feet away from me, just doing this. And it does that for 3 minutes. I'm like, okay, it's boring. So if I do put it up, I'm gonna cut it up and make it a short fight. But yeah.
Too bad that thing didn't get hooked better. That would have made a good dinner. Especially after catching all those drum.
That size.
Oh yeah, man, that was like a 40-incher.
Yeah.
It was definitely a keeper.
Yeah.
But it was not anywhere near like 25 pounds.
No, it was
like 15, 20-pound fish.
Once you really kind of looked at it and then look at the video and see the size when I'm grabbing it, see the size of it. It's 15 maybe.
Leave that one out. That one was delicious on the way.
Yeah, cobia's all right. I'm not a big fan of it.
I love it.
Never had it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like the bigger meat, the bigger flakes.
And I like the small, and even the cobia. But the thing is, the last time when you had that one, I froze it. I froze it in water, and I don't know if that pulled oil out of it or whatever it did, because it's kind of some little bit of oil.
Judge it after you freeze it.
I don't know. Yeah. And Damien's the only one that almost ate an oyster toad.
Yeah, almost.
I'm still thinking.
Still haven't been able to tell. I had the one. I had the one a couple weeks ago. If you wanted to eat it. Oh, speaking of like that What about those fish Rob posted the video of? Alive after a day and a half out of water.
Oh, I didn't see that.
On the ice.
I bet you would do that.
Dude,
I mean,
Rob caught a bass and a crappie, I guess, from fishing. Alright, so he was going to do prints.
Yeah.
That night, they had been out of the water and on ice all day.
Right.
So he goes to do prints, they're flopping. He puts them back in the cooler. Checks the cooler the next day, so it's like, he said they were like 28 hours out of water. The crappie, still gilling.
Wow.
Maybe it's because they went from such cold water to cold ice, where it's almost the same temperature. It never really, kind of almost didn't change, whatever.
That's
crazy.
Nuts.
Zombie fish.
Zombie cat. Do you see that post today? A cat got hit by a car and they buried it and started meowing and came back and it was like a zombie cat.
Yeah, and if freaking dug its way out of the grave or some shit. Stupid.
Yeah, I had one about 6 or 7 hours out of the water sitting in the back of my kayak with 3 dead tog. I filleted the tog, and they're beautiful, all nice fillets, and I get to this oyster toad and it tries to bite me. I grab it and it's like, ah! I'm like, whoa, whoa!
But then you skinned it,
I did. I skinned it, and it was like, beautiful white meat tog fillets, and then kind of this grayish piece that smelled different. Like different fish smell different ways when you cut them up. This one smelled
kind of has some grayish to it.
This is like real gray compared to that tog.
I'm getting tempted.
I do always want to try it.
Next time around.
I should have kept you the one.
Yeah,
I had the one, dude. I caught a 16-incher with Jay the other day.
I thought I had a big one at the ships with 13. It was so big it was measured. Okay, at this point I'm going to start measuring these things. It was 13 inches. He got 16 inches. Yeah, that's big.
We got a picture of it on the tape measure too. I mean, that's
nuts.
Giant.
I mean, the 13 I could put my fist in his mouth. That's how big it was. And this I can't. You probably put.
Then you can finally go fishing with a hook. You know what I mean?
It was yeah.
Giant.
Yeah, that's just I can't imagine.
I'm gonna have to blind taste test that. You know what I mean? Next time we're frying up fish or something like that, when we're all around or something like that, maybe at Kipto or something like that.
The Yancey. The Yancey's loaded with them.
I'm gonna try it.
Take some clams at the Yancey right now.
They're nice and cold.
Giant ones, dude. Giant ones at the Yancey. That's where they live. I mean, the biggest ones we've caught on the bridge have probably been at the Yancey.
Yep, because we don't get them even that big on the rocks. It's usually it's usually on the pilings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not for me. People eat them though. People eat them. I got a friend that works in the fish industry. They eat all sorts of stuff. Look down, imagine everything.
That's the thing is
I don't know how you eat a look down. A moonfish?
It's no meat to it. You probably
fry
the whole
thing and eat it.
Probably do it like a ribbon fish, right? Because there's
fish piece of bacon
as thin as that. But with the oyster toad, man, they eat the same thing. They eat the same thing as togs.
They do. I don't know. But it looks different. It's a different smell. And I didn't want it at that point. I was like,
it's not a bad.
I should have. It just was off-putting. Tog smells good. Like a freshwater bass smells a different way. A red smells a different way. And this thing was like
spot smells. Well, spot smells terrible.
I mean, catfish don't even smell that bad. You know what I mean? When you fillet catfish, I mean, it's a cleaner meat than this was, and it just right beside the two. I was like, man, why would I?
I know you were so close.
Do that? I was close. Yeah, he was alive. I could have released him. I should have, but
we're so
didn't
close.
happen. He went down to science.
Any questions on there?
I got a couple of questions here in a second.
Okay. Oh yeah, they made me change my name on Facebook.
What?
They made me change my name to Kevin Whitley on Facebook.
Why? What was it?
It was Kayak Kevin. It was Kayak
and
then Kevin because they're cutting down on the business thing. So anybody has nicknames, they only have your real name up there now. So
you need to go get that shit legally changed, man. Yeah. Get it done, Kayak Kevin Whitley.
And they probably still wouldn't let me do it. They probably still wouldn't.
I just asked Shane, does Wolfpack Fishing approve of oyster toads as food?
Yeah.
Dude, Pete Brigant has to have eaten an oyster toad.
Yeah, somebody has.
Dude.
No, but the thing on Facebook I think it's because I posted, I was trying to post Jimmy Miller, post up a yoga post. The post was every class I'm going to. This is I'm in my 4th year. Every class I'm learning something, either from the teachers teaching the new variation because I'm taking the higher level classes. Either the teachers taking a new variation, or somebody next to me is doing something variation that I haven't seen before. Like yesterday, a girl did this thing where it was like just one bind variation. It's like, oh shit, I didn't know you could do that. So now I'm trying that. So in the post is Jimmy Miller, of course. He likes to stir pots and stuff. So he goes, yeah, you sure getting the hippie side comes out in the winter. So I posted up. So I posted up. Oh yeah. So is this hippie enough for you? And into my
your animal.
Into my day kickboxing. So this is my burnout where I just do repetitive kicks.
Sure.
And I posted it up. I was like, hippie enough for you?
Hippie with shin kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, just bam, just go, just try to burn it out. Now, this is already after a half hour of strikes.
Right under the arm, right into the liver.
It's just that, burnout. It's just that burnout, right? So I did that, and he was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, speaking of, you know Chuck Rand, right? Check this out.
Was it Taekwondo he did?
Yeah. Yeah, he did that at the fishing show. What was that a couple weeks ago?
In Richmond.
Yeah, in Richmond. That was cool.
Is he from Richmond, or is he from like halfway in between here and there? Or
I think it's more Richmond.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hanover. That's up there.
Yeah.
Or somewhere around there. Yeah, somewhere on the outskirts of Richmond. Yeah. That show was kind of cool. It's cool because we don't do that shit much anymore. You know. Yeah.
It's do you have to leave at 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good for a little bit. Yeah.
I know we got to.
Oh yeah, we got to do the video too.
Yeah, we got to take time to plug that in.
Yeah. Did you see? Did you see the? Before we go on that, did you see the fights? We all watched the fights.
No, I lost.
Did you see
the box ones? They didn't tape on my.
Did you see the post on the Fish Fights fans?
Yes, I did. I did see the Gustafson fight.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. At least you saw that. You saw that, right?
Gus didn't look as in physically good a shape as he did when he fought John Jones either.
He's an amazing wrestler, fast human.
No, I mean he didn't look. But his physique, he wasn't as cut. But I mean, it depends. If he was planning on wrestling a wrestler, he might have been heavy. I mean, if he planned on going with a wrestler, he might have been heavier weights. You know what I mean? And that'll really reduce your cut. You know what I mean? If you lifted, he may have been training heavier. To.
Well, for me, it was surprising that when at the weigh-ins, I was like, okay, there's not much of a size difference here. Because remember how you look at Jones and he just makes everybody look like kids. I mean, he's a giant. Yeah. He's a legitimate giant. But Gustafson's the same height, or even I think a little bit taller. Now Rumble didn't look that small. He looked.
He was 3 inches shorter, but he didn't look that.
Yeah, he didn't look that small to him. So that was as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Fucking Rumble's gonna get him."
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that Reigns, I was like, "Oh shit, Rumble's gonna." This is not.
Gus got some good kicks in.
Yeah. But he just got and went good ding, and hit him like right here. It put him down. Now they said that it was a headbutt, and I haven't seen that video yet. I need to get on and look at that.
Pay enough attention, close enough at least.
But we're gonna get get the fight this weekend.
Nice. What was this weekend?
It's Silva and
Diaz.
Yeah.
I did. I've been waiting, watching all the shit talking videos on it.
So we're definitely getting that. But All right. Then now we're on fights. We're gonna go watch. We're gonna change up real quick and watch and detail your fight.
Fish fights.
Joke the shit out of you. No, it was awesome. But we're hold on for real quick.
What's that? Negative. We grabbed them by the jaw with some needle-nose pliers and bashed their heads on the rubber rail. Follow the trail of floating toad to find our secret holes. Like toilet paper, peanut shells.
Man, you need to eat them, man. You need to see how they
Somebody needs to eat them.
Somebody needs to eat them.
Use to film it and post it.
All right, we're gonna take a real quick break. Be right back. All right. So we got more pain in the asses. Well, the computer to the monitor is the old TV, and we're having. It's not
as fast as we thought it was going to be. But I've used these cables at work from phones.
Yeah. So we're gonna.
We're running movies smooth. So I'm going to try it on my brand new TV upstairs and see what happens.
See if it's smoother. We're gonna troubleshoot after this, but Damien's got to get going, so we're gonna do this here. But this video is on YouTube. It's Kayak Fish Fights Damien's 55-incher. This is the most recent one just put up, and so you could have that going at the same time or whatever. But we're gonna stop it and stuff. And sorry for such a small TV, and we'll figure it out. But I didn't explain a whole lot at the beginning of this because I just wanted to make it a fish fights instead of making it a full. And I'm doing that with Rogalski too. I'll probably I'll explain it here so it's easier. I caught a big croaker. caught like it was a good 13-inch croaker or so, and I put it on, and Damien had come out, so I had that bait down. I caught a spot, and I was going to replace this big croaker with a spot because my preference was going to be for a spot for a drum.
Big spot.
Yeah, nice big spot. It was like eater size spot. So
injured.
Yeah, it was like so it was good. So I traded it out. So Damien didn't. His bait was not a real good looking bait. It wasn't real active. I think the way you had it hooked up too.
I don't even remember.
You hook this one up through the nose, and that kills him. You got in just the nose itself, just the nostril itself. But
the drum swallows him. He doesn't bite
it. So this is me earlier catching that croaker, and Damien talking about. Oh wait a minute, do I have audio on this?
Unplug the HDMI.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's real big croaker.
And I was like, I get skunked enough, so it doesn't matter if it's a big, the bigger the bait, the better. It might as well. I planned on not catching anything, so sitting there half asleep with the rod.
I know, half asleep. That's what,
relaxing, rubbing up
the
against
J,
the
doing the J,
doing a J, just nodding out. And you got.
That's what happened. Jay was just chilling when he got his bite up there.
Yeah, and free spool with the clicker on.
Yeah, you had it in free spool because notice how fast it took off. And see, what we've been doing also now is instead of doing that technique, we've been doing the engaged. So the rod actually hooks. Nice. The rod holder actually hooks the fish because.
Roddy gets them.
Yeah, I mean, so every time you see like my rods are hooked up, the fish is already on at that point. No, it's
hooked enough
to bow up the rod and
not so you get
yanked. Yeah. Now, what it looked like to me, first it looked like the fish went this way and this way.
Yeah.
Right? So he ends up...
A big circle.
He might be right under my boat, yeah.
Yeah, like right under your boat, and he ends up going out in front of you here. Mm-hmm. And you're at the back side of the pilings, currents going out, I think it is?
Probably right into me, yeah.
Yeah, just currents going that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're getting around the rods, put it in gear, it's too loose, finally get up. Now he's putting...
And this one I had to tighten up the drag a little because it was a little loose.
But then he runs at you. Yeah. And then you think he's off, and he's gone.
No.
Back. And now you got to fix your rod. Tighten the drag.
We'll go ahead and make sure the reel's on the rod now. We'll go ahead and make sure this reel's on here.
Yeah, I probably hadn't fished in a month, pulled it out of the garage, put it all together, tied it up, went out.
That's right, here we go.
Right. Get some movement on it, now it's all loose. Wiggle. So yeah, you're adjusting that now.
Yeah. This is where he ran out of the pilings.
Yeah, he's out of the pilings. He's away from the bridge now.
He needs to be, and I want to face him so I kind of get pulled out of there with him.
And he's starting to, you think you tighten drag down a little bit more. Yeah, you're getting out with him. Yeah, exactly. You're getting out there with him. You tighten down, sorry, tighten down again, tighten it down again, tighten it down again. And what is that reel? Because there's not a whole lot on that. You maybe got 12 pounds of pressure on that thing, maybe?
What is it?
What kind of reel is that?
It's an old Shimano Tidewater, but it's got like 50 braid on it, and I'll crank it down and pull a little stump out.
Yeah, but probably the drag is probably maybe 12 on that.
I have no idea.
Plus thumb and
your thumb
and the pressure he got on the side of it too. He got a lot of extra pressure on the side the way he pulled it.
I know, it's like the worst thing, but it's so comfortable holding that reel for me. And I look at it and I'm like, man, you need to be holding the floor grip.
It's what we joke you out on the most because it's the most awkward looking.
It too. It is.
Well, it's because it's a musky rod. You haven't cut the butt down, so that thing's got like an 18-inch butt on it. Yeah, so it looks awkward, but it's one of the funniest things we joke the shit out of you on that one. Right there is where this fish just gets mad.
Yep.
Because look at these lunges. That and you turn and that is a really he's like fuck. Now he's mad. Now he's pushing, and he's. Yeah, see that? Look at that lunge, man. God, it's so hard. That's so hard. That right there alone gets me excited. How hard that thing is lunging. Okay, now he's taking a right turn.
When he starts going.
I think right here is where he's in because your rod ain't moving anymore, and look what your line is here, here to here. Now, you know, from this angle, of course, it looks like it's right in here. But when you make this turn, see, you're double checking. You're really lucky you have.
Yeah, I felt it rub on the piling. It should have been gone.
Right there, yeah. So that much bow on that with, on the pilings.
And I felt it for a second. I was like, oh, is it gonna? And then I was like, no, just paddle through. Don't.
That was close right there, and you go.
I was like, well, this isn't working.
Now you put it in free spool, and this was the correct thing to do. This is where
should have done that first. Should have done it way earlier.
No,
you found out where it was.
Yeah, you didn't know where it was. No, you did. You just those 2 seconds were because you were bowed up on it on the piling. If that fish would have lunged, he might have cut it.
Yeah.
So that was a crucial 2 seconds. But you did nothing you could do because you were trying to find out where it was.
Yeah.
So you were looking through and. So you know it's in a piling, you feel it, you put it in free spool, you're backing out, going back forward, put it back in and break up the slack, see where it's at.
Exactly, just to find out where he's at.
Exactly, and this is the thing, is like, you know, from when I first watched it, why didn't you just go through that first piling? Because I don't think you knew exactly which piling you went to, right?
Yeah.
So this is what you're looking at right now. Okay, now you're going forward.
Oh.
I'm not winning any awards for this one.
Yeah, you are.
A luck award.
So no, it was. So this your momentum's still going forward, and you finally got into where this where it's tight, and you gotta stop.
Yeah.
Put it in free spool again. Get it out. You back up. You get it around the front of your boat. Now you really got the right. Okay, now he's through. Now, at that point, did you feel the fish, or is it still piling?
I don't know. I think his spool looks empty.
I knew he was through there, but he was out further around the piling than I was going to pull him through, so I needed to completely be on the other side of it.
Yeah. So he wasn't on a piling at that point. He was through.
No, he was through.
But you let him. Yeah. So now you're through. Put it back.
He's been through.
Somehow put the clicker. Somehow put the clicker on for no reason.
Yeah, because my right hand.
Go on ahead and turn his arm.
My right hand holding that reel flips it with my palm because I'm holding it. And right here's where he hits real good head turns, and I realized he's still there and he's real.
That right there, those shoot, shoot, shoot. Yeah. You gave him a break because we all know is as soon as you I show it on this next video because I'm dealing with the double. As soon as you let off slack on them, they stop. So they'll chill out until they feel something on there and they're gonna lunge again. He got on the other side of the pile and was like, okay, I'm free. Yeah. And you start yanking on again. It's like, fuck, and he started going again. And he got more mad again. He's like, damn, I'm still in this.
More matter.
This back, more matter. And now he's lunging out hard. He's lunging out away from the pilings. And great technique with the legs, with the leg ruddering. You're turning yourself with the legs.
I got my hand back right.
Gotta have that hand on the wheel.
Back.
I seen my hand wanted to be off on top.
Rope climb. Here comes the old croakster.
Yeah, that was what was boggling my. How did that happen?
The line just goes through and they just ride up.
You got it on you got them on. I guess
you can see at the end it's a real small weight is probably
and it's above so the croaker pushes the weight up.
He had a big hole in his mouth at that point maybe.
Because he shakes off by the time you land him, but so I'm seeing this croaker.
They're
like I'm filming going, okay, he's gonna hit me, and I knew I had a beautiful shot right here. I was like, you better get this motherfucker, this lunge. Look how fast you move.
And at that point, the drag's all tightened down because he was running out.
Yeah.
I saw an eel that rode up the line get eaten off by a baby cobia this year.
Whoa.
While we were fishing, I mean, it was like a 35-pounder or something like that. Not a giant fish.
Yeah, but he came up.
The eel that rode up the line. Oh, he came up and took it off the line. Yeah. You saw there was like 2 or 3 little ones, man, and they would swim down with the other fish, and they would swim back up, and we were trying to figure out what they were doing. But obviously the eel was working its way up the line, and we didn't know. Yeah. You know what I mean? And eventually it just comes up and...
Damn,
right inside. I was like, what? Lucky lucky the line doesn't break or anything. Nothing crazy happens. But yeah, it was interesting to see. A little tiny when you're like 25-incher or something like that. But yeah, hilarious.
All right, so now at this point of the fight, you're out of danger. You're getting circled outside the pilings, and he's still basically on the bottom. He still hasn't come up any. You got him off the bottom a little bit because he's lunging down and he's doing these vertical lunges. Oh, he's so big. You should say he's heavy on that. Just how big he is. Now you're working them up.
Yeah, like a big,
now you're working them up. Working them up now. Whew. Just big. Look at that. I want to go down.
Very big and heavy. And kind of did what he wanted. Take the inch when you can get an inch.
Look at that.
At that point, I ain't even seen him. I just knew it was heavy.
I haven't seen him yet.
I saw the splash, but I was like, well, that looks small.
Now you
and
see
then I
him.
finally saw
Now
the
you see
body
him.
come up.
Yeah.
And just the relief, kind of that excited, relieving feeling. It's weird.
Yeah, because you got him up this far. You got him away from the piling. Yeah, and he's big as fuck. Yeah, you say he's a monster. Yeah.
And then
I'll just go ahead and rehook him.
Yep.
It looked like it. Yeah, the line was kind of wrapped around him the wrong way, so I had to turn his face the way I want him. I think he was pretty much done after that.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Just
It's time for you to take the hook out and put me back in the water again, like they do on the big pier there.
Just working them, just chilling. So at this point, you can't horse them. It's too short.
Yeah.
Everything's too short.
I see you don't have a giant hoop net.
Nope.
Big old tail.
I'm trying to just situate my rod, figure out which holder I want to put it in.
Yeah.
Probably should have kept it on my other side.
Yeah, I don't.
You had it. You're good.
Did it anyway.
Yeah, you're good.
I do what I want.
He's not going to lunge at this point.
If he does, it's going to be up.
You don't know how big he is until he gets right into the lap.
Right there.
Oh.
And this is the thing. So Trident 13, and the fish is from the seat to the center hatch.
Yeah.
To the center of the front hatch. To the buckle of the front hatch. That's how long this is in
His
perspective.
tail is across both of the across the hatch too.
A foot longer than my leg.
And see, yeah, I could see just from that distance that's 50 something, and then I'm getting up to him like, oh.
Yeah, that's getting to watch it, like a year or two later, and realizing, seeing that look, realizing that feeling when you kick it into the lap and you realize just how big it is. Then is when the adrenaline hits me. It just goes over like a wave, and I'm like, whoa. Yeah,
because when you're in a fight, it's a fight. You're working. You're in the middle of a fight. You get to this point where you see it, and you're like, oh wow, this is
what it was all for.
Yeah. Look at that thing. I mean, that's as wide.
4+ feet, like 4.5. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, damn, 55.
Yeah.
I can see right there. I was like, fuck, that's 55.
I don't mind sitting out there and getting skunked over and over.
Now,
and over.
when I had the measuring tape in the center of the tail, but I'm looking at where the tip of the tail is. So yeah, so
So you got to have a partner to measure it that big.
Yeah.
There's not a chance. There's something about those big ones, man. You tell me, you've caught more of them than anybody, but they don't really flop around on the boat too much after that point.
No. Well, none of the reds really do that much, and the only time that I've had that is when I put them back in the water with the lip gripper and put them back in, and then they kind of like they're revived, yeah. But when they're done with their fight, they're done with their fight. That's what kind of good about them.
Yeah. I'll lose them now.
I wish you got this scale right there. There's a scale around your boat. I was trying to get you to grab before it dipped.
I should have fixed my life jacket a little better too.
But look at that, it's big.
Big head on it, man.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing with the picture. The head on that thing was just so big. Maybe not the fattest in the world, but he's...
Oh, that's a big fish, man.
A big bull.
And this is that, our technique for deeper water. And this is 20, 30 feet.
Until we get eaten by a bull shark.
Until that happens, yeah. Right now,
I don't particularly care for this method right here.
You don't? Well, in this deep water, we got to do it. In deep water, we got to do it. In shallow water, it's not that bad. We can hold them by the tail just enough for them to get the balance back and they kick off. But in this deep water, we save them from boats a lot of times too when we're out there. So.
Yeah, he took a while.
Yeah, I cut a little bit out of that just because it was a long time paddling back.
minutes or so of me sitting there holding them.
No, it wasn't that long.
No, it felt
No.
Especially when my arms like all
wasn't nearly
jellified.
Yeah, wasn't nearly that. It was like 3. It took me about 3.
By the shit.
By the
Right.
shits.
They wash away.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of fun, man. I don't mind going out a half.
Extra $20 will sell you the ones that went in the water for the commercial there. For the advertising.
That's right.
I was stoked I got that in
Yeah.
with all the 4 DVDs. I went over here just to shoot view and
Yeah.
set up, and it took me a while because I set it up right around
Right.
the edge and you had to wait for some waves to come in. I got about 3 waves like that, and because I was zooming too. It was,
Right,
that's-
yeah.
I had to like pull out real smooth as a wave hit, and that one was the first one. And that was the best one.
Works for more than one thing.
Cool. You got to get going.
All right.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, guys.
We're
Thank
outta
you.
here.
Yeah, we're over here now. All right. All right, later, guys. We'll be back
So
here.
many people in here.
We'll be back at 7 with Richie Beckley.
And stuff.
Yep. And then Rob Will is going to come up a little bit later after Beckley.
Vanderlei or Vanderlei?
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Floridian.
Floridian. Well, he's from, he's Venezuelan.
Yeah.
And then I knew him up here when he was in the Navy. He fished up here, and then he was down there fishing Miami. But yeah, we'll be right back in a couple more hours. And, yep. Thanks, guys. Later.
All right.